The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Brooke changes Forrester Creations name, new CEO adds Logan? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers claim that Brooke Logan is set to usher off a new era at Forrester Creations. BNB's weekly preview video involves Brooke announcing her return to the CEO job, so that's coming up during the week of December 16th to 20th. Carter Walton's objective has never genuinely been about acquiring power for himself. Although Carter does desire a chance to pursue his global conglomerate idea, he's more focused on making things right for the Logans. Carter thinks like the Logan women have been disrespected, especially considering their many contributions to Forrester Creations throughout the years. Since Carter wants to change that, he'll support Brooke recovering the throne and making a dramatic statement. Of course, Brooke may make an even bolder statement if she decides to change Forrester Creations' name. Whether it's acceptable with this whole LLC scenario or not, BNB doesn't appear to care much about the legalities of all this. During one of Elektra Forrester's recent chats with Will Spencer, she worried if the company will still be called Forrester Creations following the takeover. Maybe that was a signal that a name change could soon be in the works. Perhaps Brooke will decide it's time to give the Logans the recognition she feels they deserve. It seems silly to get rid of the Forrester part considering how well known it is, so Brooke might go with something like Forrester Fashions and Logan Creations, or perhaps Forrester Creations and Logan Innovations, or simply go all the way with Logan-Forrester. Brooke will be furious after she catches Ridge Forrester in a sizzling moment with Taylor Hayes, so retaliation could be a factor here. It may be Brooke's way of striking back if she renames Forrester Creations to be more welcoming to the Logans. Regardless, our expectations point to Brooke making some huge moves once she's back on the throne, so Ridge will get updates on plenty of surprising news. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest Ridge and Brooke's romance is headed downhill fast, so stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Ridge turns to Taylor. Everything gets turned upside down in this week's The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, so you never know what to expect. Will tries to put Remy in his place, Elektra gets surprising news, Brooke makes a move that stuns the Forresters, and Ridge turns to the other woman in his life for comfort. Will has only been dating Elektra for a little while, but he already doesn't appreciate Remy pushing his nose in. You think I'm gonna mess things up for Elektra? Remy asks Will as he sits at the bar at Il Giardino. Will puts his foot down and promises, if you do, you're gonna answer to me. But Elektra has more important things to worry about than her old pal following her to LA and re-entering her life. I'm being fired, she asks as Ivy stands by her side. Why? Katie and Brooke exchange looks that say they don't really want to be doing this, but feel they have to. But are they shutting down the new jewelry line totally, or do they just think Ivy doesn't need an assistant? With Carter now in command of Forrester, there's no telling what he might do next with the company. And as Eric, Ridge, and Taylor glance over Steffy's shoulders at her phone, they discover a video announcement from Brooke that shakes them to their cores. I will step into my old position as CEO, Brooke reports. Ridge and Brooke were already on the outs due of the way he talked about hope, but Brooke taking over the CEO job at Forrester seems to be the last straw for him as he turns to Taylor's embracing arms for a shoulder to lean on. You were right all along, huh? He muses. But as Ridge and Taylor getting closer together and are about to kiss, Brooke comes knocking. I need to talk to you, she calls out from the other side of the door. Ridge. But does he want to talk to her? Heads start to roll at Forrester Creations. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers indicate a significant day for the Logans as they show who's in charge today. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Casualties of a coup. The Logan ladies are now ruling the show at Forrester Creations after Hope Logan and Carter Walton managed to pull off quite a coup. Carter can put anybody he wants in charge, and he wants Hope and her family up top. The first item of business for Brooke Logan and Katie Logan is to purge the corporation of everything Forrester except the name, which means poor Elektra Forrester needs to depart. The young woman is astonished to find that she is getting dismissed for no real cause. She has just been performing her job as she was meant to and doesn't comprehend how this can happen. Perhaps she needs Will Spencer to step in and speak some sense into his mother. When Katie sees how much Will likes this girl, she could have a change of heart. She will also want to keep her son at her side as an FC intern and would worry he will run and obtain a job with Dollar Bill Spencer at Spencer Publications. Katie just well be Elektra's saving grace. BNB spoilers. The Forresters plot their next move. Meanwhile, the Forresters aren't about to take things lying down. Hope and Carter were so sure that Zen Forrester would be on their side and want to design for Hope for the future, but he was horrified at what they had done. To that purpose, he joins forces with the rest of his family to strategize. There has to be a means of gaining the corporation back from Carter and Hope. Ridge Forrester cannot allow Eric Forrester's heritage go like this, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan can't let Hope win. Justin Barber has indicated there is nothing they can do, but the Forresters are not about to quit up. Perhaps it's time for a new fashion competition to establish who should actually be in charge. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Sheila discovers Remy's secret and blackmails him? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that Sheila Sharp is a clever cookie, and if anyone can pick out a fake, it's her. Remy Price is a new Il Giardino employee, and no one knows yet that he's nothing but trouble. He's in LA pursuing Electra Forrester, and once a Forrester controversy spills out, Sheila could get suspicious of the newbie. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Will Sheila Carter bust Remy Price? Remy was rejected last week when Electra warned him not to approach her at work. He took her a pizza, but her boyfriend Will Spencer made sure he felt unwanted. Remy went straight back to his computer and intended to unleash a second deep phony photo dump of Electra. This scandal will ensure her relationship to the FC jewelry line tanks, and as a result she gets fired. Poor Electra could question whether or not she should stay in LA, after assuring Remy that she wasn't interested in going back to live in the town they came from. Remy said she would be better off with him in New York, but at that time Electra had lights in her eyes.
That was rejected and Carter filed the LLC filings anyhow. B&B spoilers. Justin Barber's bomb then. Carter went to meet with Ridge, Steffy and Eric Forrester at Forrester Creations. Ridge once again tried to convince Carter to drop this whole mess. They can come up with solutions. Carter refused all those olive branches, though. It didn't help that Justin Barber has declared that there is nothing that can be done about the LLC arrangement. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Ridge Forrester's olive branches. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that since Carter has rejected all of the compromises, the Forrester family will have to become creative. Carter said that he wasn't going to get rid of Eric, Steffy, or Ridge. However, that was before Ridge started calling Hope a nasty little bitch. Carter thinks he's in love with Hope and feels it's them against the world. So, any nasty remark toward Hope will merely enrage Carter even further. B&B spoilers. Eric Forrester's solution. Eric is normally not one for trickery or mind games. However, Eric will be desperate. Eric cut the initial cloth of the very first design. So this is highly personal for Eric, and he's not giving up his firm to Carter without a struggle. Could Eric exploit his previous health issues to guilt Carter into reversing the LLC scheme? Maybe Lee Finnegan or John Finnegan will join in, admitting a bogus dying Eric to the hospital. Eric may be on his phony deathbed, pleading Carter to do the right thing. Once Carter does, Eric will bounce out of that hospital bed, and then there will be consequences. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Furious Brooke becomes FC CEO. Changes the name to Logan-Forrester? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers tease that if you can't beat M, join M. Initially, Brooke Logan was gobsmacked to find that Carter Walton plotted, and ultimately launched, a coup against FC. But now a new preview video shows Brooke declaring her spectacular comeback to the CEO job for the week of December 16th to 20th. Oh my, what will this act of treachery do to Bridge? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Brooke Logan goes rogue. Carter took over FC in a nasty method so that he may build it into a global luxury line. Hope Logan sillily went along with him because he's also babbling forth about avenging the Logans. We'll see how far Carter gets. He's egomaniacal to say the least. But he's been constant about saying that he dislikes how the Logan ladies have been dissed throughout the years. It appears like he's ready to put his money where his mouth is. B&B spoilers. Brooke Logan back in the saddle under Carter. Brooke takes on the job of CEO and revels in her glory. And why not? Her partner Ridge Forrester called her daughter, Hope, a biatch and a slut, to her face. No mother can allow that kind of disrespect from the man in her life. But will Brooke be pleased merely getting in the saddle again? Maybe the power goes to her head, and she chooses to go a step further. B&B spoilers. Will Brooke Logan change FC's name? Electra Forrester was heard asking will Spencer if Forrester Creations will still be called that following the acquisition. This could be a sign that the name of the company is about to change. We can absolutely picture rejected Brooke putting the Logan name on the signage. We don't see her abandoning the name Forrester since that's the moneymaker, but maybe sticking her name on it. Something like Logan-Forrester sounds about right. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Will Brooke Logan put her name on Forrester? Brooke's rage at Ridge is increased when she sees him with Taylor Hayes in a romantic moment, and fighting back is in her nature. Think of how enraged Ridge would be to see Saab's family name next to his. Tell us, B&B aficionados, what do you think of Carter's astounding takeover? Are you cheering for him in hope? Or do you believe they're one cracker short of a package? The bold and the beautiful Scott Clifton returns to B&B, reveals what Liam Spencer's been up to. The bold and the beautiful spoilers state that Scott Clifton recently shared some fantastic news with his admirers. On Instagram, Clifton acknowledged his return to the studio and joked about what Liam's been up to during his time off screen. Very, very happy to be back at the office today, Clifton stated in his message. Obviously, Liam's been away at a very expensive tree-hugging, vegan granola yoga retreat. Clifton included a little follow-up information in an Instagram story as well. It turns out Clifton's real-life boyfriend had a lot to say about the expression he was sporting in the snapshot he published. I want to be clear. Originally, I had made a much goofier face for this, but Elizabeth Anderson said I should use a handsome one instead. She's not enjoyable, you guys, Clifton said. Although Scott Clifton didn't shed any clues about what's ahead for Liam Spencer, many people are hopeful he'll get embroiled in a fresh narrative. Liam stays unmarried for now, but maybe his life may experience some romantic upgrades sooner or later. Hope Logan is with Carter Walton for the time being, but Ridge Forrester has made a premonition about them crashing and burning. If Carter ends up disliking Hope like Ridge thinks, perhaps she could rejoin with Liam down the road. Then again, Liam and Ivy Forrester might be an option if the show finally decides to revive them as a relationship. Even Liam and Steffy Forrester might be a possibility if she hits another tough patch with John Finnegan. Anything is possible in the world of soaps, so we'll see what happens with Liam's romantic future moving ahead. Are you glad Scott Clifton is returning as Liam Spencer? Who do you think Liam should be partnered up with next? The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest Liam has some fresh material coming up, so stay tuned to see what's in store. Who is Ivy on the Bold and the Beautiful? Ivy Forrester hasn't been on the Bold and the Beautiful for years, so it's reasonable if newer fans don't remember who she is. And if you're a longtime fan who just wants a refresher, we've got you covered. The character debuted in July 2014, played by Australian actress Ashley Brewer, until her exit from B&B in 2018. In March 2024, it was stated that Brewer will be repeating her role, but it was only a brief visit. Then, in October, she returned again for more. Ivy is Eric Forrester's niece and was brought to Los Angeles by Eric and Rick to work on the new jewelry collection to replace Quinn Fuller. She began working closely with Wyatt Fuller and befriended her cousin, Allie Forrester. While on a business trip in Paris, Quinn employed Ivy to interfere with Liam Spencer's plans to marry Hope by throwing her into a river. Liam rushed in to save Ivy, who pushed him to get to his wedding, but it was too late. Hope married Wyatt instead, and Liam found comfort with Ivy. As Liam became closer to Ivy, it sparked a rivalry with Hope. But even when Quinn's meddling in Paris was uncovered, Liam decided to remain with Ivy. When Steffy Forrester returned, she immediately tried to get Liam back, but he again opted for Ivy. After realizing that her documents had been filled out wrong and she would be deported, Ivy worried she'd lose her new life. But Quinn stepped in and helped Liam marry her so she could stay in the country. Although they'd put on a show for INS, once Ivy's dual citizenship was established, she grudgingly notified Liam and they canceled their short-lived marriage. She then moved on by getting close to Wyatt, although Steffy claimed Allie had fallen and struck her head on a rock, causing her death. Ivy possessed video footage of her striking Allie with a tire iron. She wanted justice for her friend, But Wyatt insisted on protecting Steffy. She exploited the film to blackmail her way into being the new face of Forrester. But that ultimately backfired as Steffy sacked her from the company. Ivy and Wyatt's love was jeopardized when Thomas Forrester saved Ivy from a falling spotlight and grew fascinated with her. After Ivy eventually caved up and made out with Thomas, Steffy notified Wyatt, who was crushed. During a fight with Steffy backstage at Forrester, Ivy was shoved into an electrical panel and nearly electrocuted. Ivy had a restraining order set up against Steffy and reconciled with Wyatt, albeit she began developing emotions for Liam again. When Wyatt proposed, Quinn revealed Ivy was still in love with Liam, so he called it off. As Ivy was packing to depart to Australia, she had another dispute with Steffy and in the struggle slipped down the stairs. Thankfully, Ivy healed and flew home to Australia, leaving the Forresters and their drama behind. In May 2024, Ivy popped back to Los Angeles and drank drinks with Liam. She acknowledged that Eric had talked to her about resurrecting the Forrester jewelry line, but she seemed much more interested in flirting with Liam and trying to rekindle a spark. He was really flattered, and they shared a kiss, but then Steffy interrupted and inserted herself as a third wheel, so Ivy said her goodbyes. Ivy returned in October, having been contacted by Carter Walton about relaunching the Forrester jewelry line. She brought her niece, Electra Forrester, along to assist her and tried pitching Steffy on restarting the business, but the CEO felt like she was being ambushed. Later, Eric was happy to meet Ivy and Electra and suggested they pitch their jewelry line to Ridge. Ivy believed Steffy's decision was personal, not commercial, and Ridge loved their designs and authorized it, assuring he'd deal with Steffy himself. Eric also offered the ladies to move into the Forrester estate with the rest of the family. As Forrester prepared the press statement for the new jewelry line, Ivy couldn't understand why Electra didn't want her name or photo included, as she was an integral part of it. Eventually, Electra revealed in Ivy that the reason she'd gone to LA was because someone had manufactured deepfake nude images of her and published them all over the internet. She worried it would happen again, and Ivy promised to safeguard her niece. Stay tuned to see what happens next. Bold and beautiful holiday blues. What Brooke's big betrayal means for the annual Forrester family Christmas. Big things have been happening on Bold and Beautiful, and a big betrayal is set to make the situation a whole lot more dire. It's all giving fans the gift of drama, but has left them wondering what will become of the usual Forrester family Christmas party we all look forward to so much. There's only a week left before the main holiday, and Bold and Beautiful's Forresters and Logans have never been so separated. The Forresters are suffering after Carter executed a coup on behalf of the Logans, with Hope by his side, and took over the treasured family business. Making matters immensely worse, a raging Ridge blamed his lady love's daughter for the whole mess, and took it to another level by calling Hope his mother's favorite disparaging nickname for Brooke, a slut. Brooke grew aggressive with Ridge, but he merely doubled down, informing Brooke that he would not, live on the same property with her manipulative turncoat of a daughter, hollering about Hope acting out of pocket with Thomas, Finn, and now Carter. The dressmaker made it obvious he wanted Brooke to turf Hope out of her cabin home. Aghast, Brooke refused, and Ridge stormed out on her. It came as a surprise to almost no one that Ridge wound up at the Cliff home, and finally, in Taylor's soothing arms. As we now know, things are set to get much, much worse. Ridge is about to get rocked again, and we don't mean in Brooke's bedroom. The revelation that Brooke will not only join Team Carter and Hope, but will be leading the initiative as Forrester Creations' new CEO, will translate to a blue Christmas for Ridge. He'll consider her acceptance of Carter's offer as the ultimate betrayal, even if she's hoping to negotiate peace. And with the big revelation coming less than a week before the usual Christmas gathering, it's not looking good for the festivities at all. We're sorry to say, we can't imagine the Forresters and Logans setting aside their differences this year, folks. It's simply inconceivable, especially with Bridget coming home for the holidays. We're calling it now. The Logans are going to have to burn the holiday turkey at Brooke's house this year, and the Forresters will be singing the blues over Eric's piano. On the other hand, this is bold and beautiful, and quite literally anything is conceivable. Bridget's homecoming may imply Brooke makes an appearance at the Forrester family celebration, if only to get a first-hand glimpse at Ridge telling Taylor, "All I want for Christmas is you." Heads start to roll at Forrester Creations. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, casualties of a coup. The Logan ladies are now ruling the show at Forrester Creations after Hope Logan and Carter Walton managed to pull off quite a coup. Carter can put anybody he wants in charge, and he wants Hope and her family up top. The first item of business for Brooke Logan and Katie Logan is to purge the corporation of everything Forrester except the name, which means poor Electra Forrester needs to depart. The young woman is astonished to find that she's getting dismissed for no real cause. She has just been performing her job as she was meant to and doesn't comprehend how this can happen. Perhaps she needs Will Spencer to step in and speak some sense into his mother. When Katie sees how much Will likes this girl, she could have a change of heart. She will also want to keep her son at her side as an FC intern and would worry he will run and obtain a job with Dollar Bill Spencer at Spencer Publications. Katie just well be Electra's saving grace. B&B spoilers. The Forresters plot their next move. Meanwhile, the Forresters aren't about to take things lying down. Hope and Carter were so sure that Zen Forrester would be on their side and want to design for Hope for the future. But he was horrified at what they had done. To that purpose, he joins forces with the rest of his family to strategize. There has to be a means of gaining the corporation back from Carter and Hope. Ridge Forrester cannot allow Eric Forrester's heritage go like this, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan can't let Hope win. Justin Barber has indicated there is nothing they can do, but the Forresters are not about to quit up. Perhaps it's time for a new fashion competition to establish who should actually be in charge.